should gaff taped it down. Check, check, 1, 2. Check, check, 1, 2.
You got me?
Got you loud and clear, pal.
Thank you.
A little tangled up here.
Yeah, it looks like Tristan's getting the good games. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't think that Tristan could beat me. I'd kick that ass. No one beats me on NCAA. Look at all these.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saturday night action here in the Memphis Sports and Events Center in Memphis, Tennessee for the 2025 Memphis Yeshiva Invitational Tournament. Hello, my name is Jake Brewer alongside my broadcast partner, Dylan Maharg. And Dylan, here we have Tier 3 play, a Tier 3 semifinal between the Katz Yeshiva High School Storm and the Maimonides School M-CATS. But Dylan, how are you on this fine Saturday evening?
Absolutely, Jake. Thanks for having me here. I'm doing well. Excited for this great matchup here. We got in Tier 3 bracket play. We got the Katz Yeshiva High School Storm. They're from Boca Raton, Florida. They're going to be matched up against the M-CATS today from Brooklyn, Massachusetts. A few players to look out for as you got Mr. Cal Bloom, A.B. Cal Bloom. He's a shooter. Then you got Elon Atiadas. He had a couple big threes. And then your 6'4" forward, Nir Ovakhin, is their big man. He's someone to keep out for. On the other side, you got Danny Massaggi is a big scorer, J.J. Rapolino, Ati Winograd, and then Emil Djokovic, the 5'11" sophomore, had 15 to go with the last game. So it should be a great matchup here today. Late night here in Memphis, Tennessee.
Late night here in Memphis, Tennessee, indeed. And Jake Brewer, Dylan Maharg here calling 2 games tonight. But here's the M-CATS with their white uniform and navy lettering and numbers with red font. Meanwhile, the Katz Yeshiva Storm in their orange uniform and navy blue trimming. But we're off and underway for some high-quality Tier 3 semi-final action as the M-CATS here winning the opening tip. Now Danny Massaggi driving in. Heavily guarded there. That's tremendous defense there by the Storm.
Absolutely. Big block there by Nir Ovakhin. He's 6'4", 180-pound junior. He's going to be an impact player. If the Storm are going to win this semifinal and get to the Tier 3 championship tonight, expect Nir to have a big game down low.
So ultimately, with this being a Tier 3 matchup, obviously this is a spot that neither of these teams intended on being in. You know, everybody wants to win that Tier 1 title, but at the end of the day, you are here, and you can only go up from here, if you will. There's a 3-point shot there by number 15 of the Storm, Jordan Kogan.
Absolutely.
And we're very familiar with him.
Absolute. Jordan Kogan, the lefty shooter. He's got a nice lefty stroke. And, I mean, that one game we had yesterday there, partner, we nicknamed it Jordan Kogan Corner because of how many corner threes he had. Expect him to have a lot of threes, and that's an and-one by Sam Marcus. Good take there.
Sam Marcus with a phenomenal cut to the basket, and I believe that foul is going against number 20 of the Storm. However, I'm not seeing a name.
That's Ami Kiefer with the foul.
Ami Kiefer. So Ami Kiefer with his first personal foul, first team foul on the Storm, as that free throw will be off the mark. Storm running the ball up the floor as number 15 passing it out to number 14 of the Storm. That'll be off the mark.
Atias with a good shot there. Good pass by Kogan, just wasn't able to get it to go. Kiefer with the rebound, pushing up near. Good kick out to Cal Bloom. A little long.
And that ball is going to go out of bounds, and very, very fast-paced start here, Dylan.
Absolutely, both these teams, they're aggressive on defense. They're going to try to get steals, quick rebounds, get it to that outlet pass, and then quick transition points is how both these teams play.
That is absolutely correct, as there's J.J. Rapolino giving the ball to Masagi. Masagi conducting his offense, bounce pass. Here's number 5 for 3 of the M-CATS. That will be just short.
Good look there by number 5. That's Emil Djokovic. He had a couple big threes for them yesterday. Just a 5'11" sophomore guard.
As we'll have a travel there. Once again, another turnover against the Storm. And, you know, here being in the Tier 3 semifinal, turnovers are certainly elements of the game that you're going to want to keep to a minimum.
Absolutely. Usually the team that has more turnovers loses the game, so both teams going to try to play clean today.
There's Rapolino with a very interesting scoop and score with a little bit of a Euro step. That was a great move there by Rapolino.
Absolutely. Great way to get a pump fake, get in the air, and that's just a great take there by Cal Bloom. Look for him to be aggressive here. I will say, partner, there's something that you notice now in today's age. Rather, when I played, a lot of people just had black or white shoes, and now you see bright pink, bright purple. They don't even match their uniforms anymore. They just wear whatever colors they want on their shoes.
That's absolutely correct. Certainly not a traditional look anymore, but, you know, I'll be honest here, partner. They have a turnover there, but I'll be honest here, partner. I think giving these young men the ability to wear whatever color shoe they want, you know, really shows their it gives them a self-expression, if you will.
Yeah, it's always great to show a little bit of personality. If you want to wear bright pink, bright green, go for it, you know? You want to match your uniform, sure.
Bright pink, blue, purple, whatever you want to call it. I'm just happy that we're here for the 2025 Memphis Yeshiva Invitational, as there's a little bit of confusion, and coach of the M-CATS, Ed Gelb, just wanting a little bit of a clarification on who that foul was against, and that was a reach-in on number 21 near Ovaknin. There's a drive to the basket. My goodness, what a showing of athleticism by A.B. Cal Bloom.
Cal Bloom with a great take there. He's got 4 early. He's always aggressive. He's a scorer. If he can get going, it's going to be a big night for the Storm.
Storm certainly wanted to travel there, but not going to get it. M-CATS, I think, got away with that one. There's almost a dangerous pass. There's number 21 of the M-CATS. I tell you, Winograd almost having the ball stolen, but Masagi with the basketball. Here's Winograd. There's Rapolino. Rapolino popping that out to Winograd. Winograd, number 5, Djokovic. And there's a backcourt violation there, and phenomenal pressure by this Storm D.
Absolutely, that's Ami Kiefer, number 20, great D, great pressure. He forced Djokovic to go out to the backcourt. That's just a great possession. If the Storm can keep it up, they're going to be looking to be in the championship of this Tier 3 bracket.
Checking into the game for the M-CATS is number 14, Ariel Jessel-Jones, and number 3, Ezra Weiss. So they're getting their first moments of action.
Good pass by Cal Bloom. Oh, can't get the finish there by Kiefer. Wow, Cal Bloom's came out early with some great passes and great shots.
Here's Masagi with the basketball. Weiss down to Rapolino. Rapolino going to get a whistle, and that will be a 3 in the key.
That was Ariel Jesselson camping down in the key just a little bit too long. Good call there by the official.
What was that quote you said yesterday? Something about camping inside of... What was that? What did you say yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking about some of these players been camping in the key so long, they've been pitching a tent like they're camping in Washington. There, we got a timeout on the floor here. We'll be right back after the break. Timeout by Coach Ellie Baratz of the Yeshiva High School Storm.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Memphis Sports and Event Center here for a late night matchup. It's 8:22 p.m. Central Standard Time, game 1 of 3 here on court number 3. And Boy, this has certainly been a fun start to this contest.
Absolutely. I would even consider these games more exciting than the World Series happening right now. You should definitely be tuned into this instead of that. Good shot there by Cat Bloom, just a little long. Good rebound by Jesselson.
Jesselson driving, Eurostep, a lot of contact, and it's going to be a charge, says the baseline official, Stephen Curtis.
That's Elon Atias that puts his body on the line for the charge there. Wow. Great play there. It was a 14-on-14 crime as that's Jesselson with his first personal.
Now almost midway through this opening quarter here.
Great passing, good press break there. That's Ami Kiefer with the leg. Good pass there by Ovotkin.
And Ami Kiefer with multiple points here already in the early going as the Storm extends their lead to 5. Here's Rappolino. Rappolino driving. Tried to do a push-off, not going to get any sort of whistle or anything, and throws it right off the glass. Storm taking it the other way.
Cal Bloom, he's looking to facilitate the offense.
Cal Bloom, what a nice pass there. That's going to be a reach in against number 3 of the M-CATS, Ezra Weiss, and checking into the contest for the M-CATS is number 21, Itai Winograd, and for number 20, JJ Rappolino.
Winograd, the tallest player, a 6'2", center, sophomore on this M-CATS squad. Close to 5 seconds. That's going to be a 5-second violation. That's Elon Atias. Just couldn't find anybody there open on the Storm offense.
No, he could not indeed. And you've got to give a lot of credit to this M-CATS defense of being able to force that 5-second violation against the Storm.
Absolutely. Great D there. And I love the defense and the physicality both teams so far in this one, partner.
That is absolutely correct, as there is Winograd down there on the baseline. That will be a personal foul against number 20 of the M-CATS, Ami Kiefer. As we have some substitutions in here. First for the M-CATS, number 5, Amiel Jakowitz. And then for the Storm, we have number 2, Tomer Skandarian, and number 15, Jordan Kogan. Now 3.5 remaining. There's a 3-point shot there with space. That'll be just short. Offensive rebound by Winograd. Tries to go back up with it, not gonna go.
That was an excellent under basket call there by Coach Gelb. Double pin down action, gets the shooter a perfect shot, just wasn't able to fall. Another great move and take. That's 6 points early here now for Cal Bloom.
Maybe Cal Bloom certainly making an impact as the Storm forcing another turnover, and neither of these teams wanting to give an inch, as we'll have a substitution in here for the M-CATS, number 15. Daniel Zilber coming into the game for Danny Masagi.
That was great defense on that last play by Kiefer and Kogan. They forced number 5, Djokovic, to just dribble it off his foot and out of bounds.
There'll be 4 personal fouls against
Oh my, what a save there. I thought that was easily out of bounds, and Urza Weiss just saves it.
Storm charging. There's number 2 of the Storm with a layup and a lot of contact, and he will get fouled. Tomer Skandarian going to the line for 2 shots at the charity stripe.
Great attack there by Tomer Skandarian. He had a guy closing out way too quick. He attacked that close, just like you get taught in elementary school. If a guy closes out too fast, tack the close out so he can't stop you and get the foul. Going for 2 shots here.
Tomer Skandarian, a junior forward, standing at 6 feet 2 inches and 170-pounder. And I spoke with Eli Baratz, head coach of the Storm, before the game, and he explained how he needed a lot of impact here from Skandarian off the bench here for this Tier 3 semi. Certainly a huge piece to this program.
Oh my, where was that pass going from Daniel Zilber? Right to the Storm. And that's an and one. What a play and shot there by Jordan Kogan. He said, who needs 3-pointers? I can just get 3 the whole old school way.
That's absolutely correct. And the Storm just slowly but surely extending this lead. Now it's a 10-point game in the early goings. And boy, if you're Coach Ed Gelb, you've got to be frustrated at the slow start.
Absolutely. But on the other side, the Barrett's son and dad, father duo of the Storm, they got to be thrilled with the defense and aggressiveness so far from the Storm offense.
That is 100% correct. And the Storm certainly wanting to storm their way into this Tier 3 championship. And boy, they're certainly looking good so far.
Absolutely. And with their aggressiveness, they've already they've already gotten 6 fouls here on the M-CATS. They will be shooting 2 free throws the rest of the quarter.
There's a great offensive play call there by the M-CATS for the easy deuce. But the Storm, boy, going very, very quick. Three-point shot there, not gonna fall. Rebounded by the M-CATS. And that'll be a reach-in foul against number 15 of the Storm, and Jordan Cogan. And boy, if you are the Storm, you certainly want to minimize the amount of fouls that will be called against Jordan Cogan. Jordan Cogan certainly a phenomenal piece to this program, and absolutely do not want to get him in foul trouble.
Absolutely, and you didn't see yesterday when the Storm did lose and they had their struggles. A lot of the reason was because Nero Vodkin and a few other of their star players got in foul trouble and limited them on the offensive side.
Here are the M-CATS. There's mid-range J there, not going to fall. Boy, the M-CATS offense still struggling as we have now surpassed the 2-minute mark. Three-point shot there. Jordan Cogan, a name that we're very familiar with.
Cogan is establishing that corner once again. Cogan corner. He's got 2 threes. He's got 6. And that's an 18-6 point lead for the Storm. And Coach Ed Gelb is not liking what he's seeing. He's going to be cast a timeout here with 1:45 to go in the first.
And we'll be right back here on MemphisInvitational.com. Jake Brewer and Dylan Maharg on the call. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Tier 3 semifinal here in Memphis, Tennessee for the 2025 Memphis Yeshiva Invitational. As the Storm with a phenomenal start here with an 18-6 lead, and boy, the M-CATS certainly just looking for some sort of answer, some sort of spark to put themselves back into this basketball game. As there's Danny Massaji being heavily guarded at the half-court line. And we have Ezra Weiss driving, popping it back out to Rapolino. Rapolino to number 5, Giakowicz.
What I've been really impressed with so far from this Storm defense, and another play right here's a perfect example of it, is they're playing great, perfect defense, being aggressive without fouling. Being aggressive without fouling is the way to win defensively. They've forced a lot of turnovers. Great hustle there by number 22, Zach Loberfield, as he caused a jump ball and got his team back to possession. Zach
Loberfield, certainly another piece on this organization that certainly plays a part in this. This is a big, big man here.
Absolutely. And there's Oyulan Atias. He'll take it to 2, and he's going to go to the charity stripe for 2 more shots. And wow, it seems like every other play here, the Yeshiva Storm are at the free throw line converting their chances.
Yes, they are. And being able to efficiently hit free throws is very important for successful programs. And Storm certainly looking successful here this evening. As there's Ilan Atias at the line, converting his first free throw.
Atias is a very aggressive offensive player. You're going to see him a lot at the free throw line. He gets a lot of his points at the rim. He's a very aggressive drive-first guard, and you got to love that as a coach.
Atias hitting both shots at the charity stripe.
And
extending the lead to 14.
At that second free throw, 6'1" senior, Sam Marcus, number 22, checked back in for the M-CATS.
The M-CATS conducting the offense. There's a good cut there by Sam Marcus. A lot of contact and gets the and 1.
Great cut, great pass there. And Sam Marcus, he's got 5 points. If he can sort of convert this free throw, he's going to have 6 out of their 9 points.
You know who Sam Marcus reminds me of, partner? Sam Marcus reminds me of Wisconsin legend Sam Decker. He's very long, lengthy, all over the place. Very, very much a pest on the defensive end as he's applying pressure there. But do you remember Sam Decker?
Absolutely. Sam Decker was a pivotal piece of that Wisconsin team in 2015 as they made the phenomenal run, knocked out 38-0 Kentucky on their way to a runner-up finish. They just lost to the Blue Devils of Duke University and Coach K. You remember Grayson Allen had some heroics in that 2015 final.
Oh, of course, and Grayson Allen, obviously a Duke legend, played here in Memphis with the Memphis Grizzlies professional basketball team here for a couple of years, and certainly a Duke legend in his own right. But coming back here into this contest, the M-CATS with a good three-point possession there and another stop, and they certainly want to end this quarter on a positive note as, boy, Danny Masagi drawing a lot of contact there. I'm not sure if that'll be on the floor or shooting, but
I don't think it's going to matter. I believe that's their 5th personal, so even if it's shooting or not, it is 2 shots, but it'll be their 5th personal, so they would be at 2 shots anyways. That was on number 24, Ariel Pollock for the Storm.
Danny Masagi, a pivotal piece to this team. Danny Masagi missing that second free throw. Ball is going to go out of bounds, and it will be Storm basketball. 17.6 remaining here in the first.
Gotta assume Storm holds the ball for one last shot here to end the quarter with the 10-point lead.
Here's Ethan Stern.
Or maybe not hold the
M-CATS
ball.
wanted to travel, not going to get it. Ball's down low. A lot of action going on, and the whistle will be blown, but it will be a travel against the Storm. 9.8 remaining in the quarter.
If I'm Zach Loberfield there, he got the great rebound. He should have just put that up and went back strong, but he passed it over to Pollock, and Pollock ended up traveling.
Here's Masagi, now to 2 seconds. Throwing the ball up, and definitely not the look that they wanted there, but that will conclude the first quarter here at the Memphis Sports and Event Center as the Katz Yeshiva Storm lead the Maimonides School M-CATS by a score of 20-10. You're listening to Jake Brewer and Dylan Maharg right here on MemphisInvitational.com. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Memphis Sports and Event Center as the second quarter is about to begin here. And Katz Yeshiva Storm with a 10-point lead over the M-CATS. And Dylan, what has impressed you here with the Storm?
I would just say their aggressiveness, really. They're playing really good defense. They're not giving the M-CATS anything offensively. And I think on the other side of the ball, they're just attacking the rim. They're getting fouled. They're making their free throws, and they're converting their chances on the offensive side of the ball.
Great analysis there by color commentator Dylan Maharg as there's a turnover there by the M-CATS. And, boy, that's pretty much exactly what you said. Defensive pressure by the Storm, putting themselves in a good position as there's a hard layup there and no foul call. Rebound by the M-CATS.
Then long arms, gets it up to Emil Djokovic, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
Emil Djokovic, very scrappy young man, sophomore guard, 5 feet 11 inches. That foul gonna go against number 21 near Ovakin.
Correction, that foul was on number 3. AB Kyle Bloom, his first. Checking in is Ati Winograd, 6'2" sophomore center for the M-CATS.
Djokovic converting both of his shots at the charity stripe.
Wow, what a pass.
There's Kogan. Left-handed J, got it to go.
You gotta love it. That's a sweet spot in the corner there. He's gonna either shoot it or pump fake and drive for that little floater. He loves those 2 type of shots. We got Sam Marcus in the corner, and then bang, he splashes it.
Phenomenal answer there by Sam Marcus. That keeps the M-CATS within striking distance here in the early going of the quarter.
Absolutely, you gotta like this. A little bit more fight you're seeing now from the M-CATS. We just got a 7-point ball game, and Ed Gelb seems to be a lot more thrilled with his defense right now so far in the second quarter.
Kogan for 3, and boy, this kid cannot quit scoring.
Absolutely, he loves shooting from deep. Had a little crossover there, and his guy was slipping all over the court like a slip and slide.
Here's Marcus. heavily guarded by Kogan. Tremendous defense there by Kogan. That ball will go out of bounds and remain with the M-CATs. But Coach Ed Gelb of the M-CATs frustrated with his guys and obviously not running the offensive sets that he wants. And very, very frustrated with this team at the moment as we have number 5, Amiel Jackwitz. Ball almost stolen. Masagi recovers. Back to Jackwitz. Jackwitz. Here's Masagi. Floater, not going to go. Rebounded it by himself. Here's Winograd, 4-3, and that is 9 straight points that we've seen here on both sides here from three-point land. Here's Kogan. Tries to give it over to his teammate, but that will be 3 in the key against the Storm, and it'll be M-CATs basketball.
Gotta love the aggressive approach there by Jordan Kogan, though. He drives, tries to find Nero Vakin, but he was just camping down there a little bit too long. Gotta love the hustle by Danny Masagi there. Goes up for a shot, gets his own shot, rebounds it, and then throws it back out to Winograd, who hits the big 3 to get this game back within 7.
JJ Rapolino with a good pump fake, but gonna lose the basketball, and it seems like he's adamant that the ball went out on the Storm, but regardless, it will be Storm basketball as there's number 14 popping out to number 3, Ezra Weiss, or A.B. Calbloom, I should say. And here's Kogan. Great pass down low. And great defense, but it appears that we will get a foul against number 22, Sam Marcus. Ball being inbounded. Here's a layup, got it to go. Phenomenal move there by Nir Ovaknin. Here's Jackwitz, Jackwitz to Masagi. Back to Jackwitz.
Does love like they like to see a little pass and cut there, and then Masagi sets a pick for Sam Marcus to try to cut through. They've ran that play a few times. It's worked. That time, Sam Marcus was open. They just wasn't able to find him down low.
He was not, as we've now played 3 minutes in the quarter, and that'll be another turnover against the M-CATs. There's number 15 of the Storm. Not gonna go. Boy,
Yeah,
lots of pushing and shoving, and this is more of a wrestling match than it is a basketball game.
I would say there with Jordan Kogan, you just got to go up strong. He tries to go for the little Euro step fader. And when you're on that one-on-one situation, you just got to drive hard to the rim, and you're probably going to get fouled or going to get the 2 points.
If you're just now tuning in with us here on MemphisInvitational.com or YouTube.com, we're certainly glad to have you here wherever you're watching. As right now, the Storm certainly dominating here early. Only a 9-point lead, but it feels like it's much more lopsided. And boy, the M-CATs offense is struggling as
great outlet pass there by Almi Kiefer up to Calbloom, and wow, Calbloom's got to be the fastest player on the court. Every single time down, he just flies up the court, not even cherry picking. He's just faster than everybody else. And then we got a timeout on the floor by Coach Gelb. M-CATs will be using a 30-second timeout.
We'll keep it right here as we see 4:21 remaining here in the quarter. But, obviously a phenomenal season of sports that this is. We've got the beginning of basketball, college basketball here coming up here this upcoming week. The NBA's already started. High school season starting up here for these young men here, as well as around the United States of America. And boy, basketball is in full swing here.
Absolutely. I mean, just any city you go in America, you're going to be able to find some good basketball games. And we've had some great games here this weekend, partner, at the Yeshiva.
We have indeed. Earlier in this weekend, I was fortunate enough to call a double overtime matchup, and I know you and I got to call an overtime matchup yesterday, and we have 3 great, exciting games ahead of us here today, and 4 more tomorrow.
Absolutely. I mean, we still got plenty of this tournament left, plenty of good matchups, and I mean, we're on semifinal Saturday tonight, and wow, I'm expecting a lot of good games.
Here's Masagi with the basketball down to Winograd. Winograd, very dangerous pass, and Ed Gelb cannot be happy about that one. Here's a 3-point shot by Calbloom, not going to go. Ball's going out of bounds, and it will remain with the Storm. And Coach Ed Gelb going to be substituting number 14 of the M-CATS, Ariel Jesseljohn, in for number 20, J.J. Rapolino. And, you know, I kind of halfway expected him to bring Ty Winograd out of the game after that questionable pass last possession.
Absolutely. They tried to go for a little pass and cut action back to Masagi, but he just was not open. They tried to force the pass. Way to be in the passing lane by Nero Vatkin, who just takes the three. Doesn't get it, but great rebound there. And now back out to Cal Bloom.
Cal Bloom resetting the offense. Cal Bloom to whistle's going to be blown. That will be a travel against Ovaknin.
Yeah, Nero Vatkin there. He's good driver, good kicker, but he was traveling like he wants to go back down to Boca Raton, Florida with that much steps.
You know, certainly we are in Tier 3, but surely he's not wanting to travel all the way down to Boca Raton, Florida. But regardless, that was a travel either way. You know, to me, the travel almost looked close. It didn't look too egregious. There's a steal by Ovaknin. Ovaknin driving in. Oh, my goodness. Almost looks like he was trying to posterize Danny Masagi, but regardless, we're going to have a jump ball in favor of the Storm.
And here, number 5, Emil Jakovitz will check in for number 11, Danny Masagi. And yeah, it looked like he was going to go up to try to palm it, but kind of lost the ball on the way up and ended up having to go for a little layup. Wasn't able to convert it, but wow. That would have been the first tournament dunk I've seen all tournament. And wow, you don't see that very often. Wedged between the rim and the backboard. That was Jordan Kogan from the Kogan corner, and that's going to be a jump ball back to the M-CATS with possession.
And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to announce that we have our first wedgie here on the program. And partner, correct me if I'm wrong, it was last year on semifinal Saturday that we had a wedgie then as well.
Absolutely. There's something with these late night Saturday night games where it's just unfortunate for the shooters.
Yes, it is. There's number 14 of the M-CATS with a hook shot. Not going to go. Great defense by the Storm. That ball is going to go out of bounds after number 5 of the M-CATS, Emil Jakovitz, trying to get in that passing lane, but just could not gain possession of the basketball. And number 22 of the Storm checking in, Zach Loberfield, as well as number 2, Tomer Skandarian.
Gotta love that Jakovitz is there being aggressive in the passing lane. Nero Vatkin kind of telegraphed the pass, but just wasn't able to come down with the possession.
Telegraphed. What a word there, partner. Number 14 driving in for the Storm. Not going to go. Great defense by the M-CATS. M-CATS are going to push it. There's number 15 of the M-CATS, Daniel Zilber. Zilmer to Marcus. Marcus. Jakovitz. Jesseljohn. There's Jakovitz popping out to Zilber. Zilber almost traveled. Here's Jesseljohn driving, and we're going to get a foul called, says sideline official Charlie Williams.
Charlie Williams with the call there. Ethan Stern with the personal.
As Ariel Jesseljohn, senior forward, 6 feet 2 inches, going to the line for 2. As we are now at just 2 minutes 3 seconds remaining here in the first half of action. Not going to get that one first, that first free throw to fall. And splits the free throws. Ariel Jesseljohn going 1 for 2 there. Now 2 minutes to play. And here's Ethan Stern. Cal Bloom. Great ball handling there by Cal Bloom and a phenomenal pass. My goodness.
Absolutely, you gotta love the pick and roll there. That's textbook with the bounce pass, splitting the 2 defenders. Good finish there by Elon Atias. I would honestly use that pick and roll with Cal Bloom and Atias more often. They're 2 dynamic attackers to the rim. That's
absolutely correct. And boy, that thing could not be possible without the sensational pass there by Cal Bloom. But M-CATS looking to answer. There's Marcus for 3. Not gonna go. Rebounded by the Storm. Storm gonna go quick. Storm almost traveling. There's this Atias. Atias drives, goes up with the left. Gonna be in and out. Toilet pole for that one.
M-CATS pushing. That Jakovitz from way downtown, and he drills it. We got a 9-point game here with 1 minute to go in the first half.
Yes, we do indeed, as there will be a timeout on the floor. I believe that will be an official's timeout.
Yeah, that's correction. Looks like number 22, Zach Loberfield, kind of banged up on that last play. He hobbled off to the bench, but looks like he'll be all right.
Fortunate for that young man that injury was not any worse. May have just fallen a little wrong, or I'm not sure what happened, but he's certainly staying back in the basketball game. As it will be Storm basketball with just 60 seconds remaining here in the half. Here's Cal Bloom. Cal Bloom trying to do the double or bounce pass again, but gonna fail at that one.
Yeah, he bounced past that right into the defender's gut. It was almost like he was catching a football with his stomach. And here we go, now a 7-point lead here for the Storm.
Stern. There's number 21 of the Storm, near Ovaknin, getting fouled as he drove in for the layup. .5 remaining, as that was just the second team foul against Maimonides. Here's Near, gets the first one to fall. And capitalizes at the cherry stripe with 2 shots made, but here come the M-CATS wanting to go fast. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Storm basketball, and boy, Ed Kelb is absolutely frustrated.
It would be too there, partner. I mean, you really want to hold it for one last shot, or at least get a good possession, right? You want a good quality shot, and he just threw it right out of bounds, and Kogan tries to go up, but 3 guys are there. Not a good shot there by Kogan.
Not at all. Here's Zilber, trying not to get the ball stolen away from him. Zilber, 5 seconds remaining. Zilber still with the basketball, almost travels. There's number 5 for the 3 and not gonna go, and that will do it here for the first half as the Katz Yeshiva Storm lead the Maimonides School M-CATS by a score of 33-24. This is Jake Brewer and Dylan Maharg right here on MemphisInvitational.com for the 2025 Memphis Yeshiva Invitational. We'll be right back in just a few minutes for second half action. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2025 Memphis Yeshiva Invitational as we are here with Tier 3 semifinal play between the Maimonides School M-CATS and the Katz Yeshiva STORM. STORM leading it 33-24, and partner, that's thanks to none other than Jordan Kogan.
Absolutely, Kogan has had a great game so far. I think it's been kind of a two-man show between him and A.B. Cal Bloom's got out on transition for a good 8 to 10 points as well. Kogan's got an 8 here as well. And, I mean, this Storm team is just aggressive. They're driving to the rim, and they got to keep it up in the second half if they're going to keep this victory and advance the Tier 3 championship game tomorrow.
That's absolutely correct, but you know, don't count out the M-CATS here, as the M-CATS, yes, down 9, but they're certainly hanging around and wanting to keep this thing scrappy and ugly, and you know, just all they need to do is clean up their turnovers a little bit, but 33-24 here as we begin the second half of play. As number 20 of the Storm, Amy Kiefer, inbounding the basketball. So you have a little bit of a delay here, maybe a stat sheet, score sheet issue, but something going on, waiting on something here, partner.
Yeah, I think we lost our scorebook operator as we just got a new one coming in. So as soon as we get our here on the scores table, we'll be all right to start the second half here, folks.
And at the end of the day, you cannot play a basketball game, an official basketball game, without a score sheet.
Absolutely. That's Cal Bloom from way downtown. Misses it, but Nero Vakin with the rebound. He puts it back up. Great start to the second half here for the Storm with 2 points there from Nero Vakin.
Nero Vakin, certainly a force to be reckoned with for the Storm organization, but here's Masagi. Here to Marcus. Marcus to Jockwitz. Jockwitz back to Masagi. Here's Winograd. Winograd to Jockwitz. Jockwitz drives, cuts out, pops it out, I should say. That'll be a missed three-point shot for Danny Masagi.
And here comes the fast racing Storm. Wild shot there by Atias. Don't think Ellie Baratz was too thrilled with that shot.
There's Masagi. Almost carried. Here's Emil Jockwitz, 4-3 with the contest. It gets it to fall.
Great shot there by Emil, and wow, you can't teach that. That's talent right there.
That's what I call basketball.
Sure.
Here's Atias.
Good hands there by Emil Jockwitz. He's got the fast book transition point, and he misses the lay. Oh my, what a blunder.
Almost put all the pieces together there on that steal, but could not get the basket to fall. As oh my, there's a hard foul there against on number 21, Niravakin going to the line for 2. That foul will go against.
I believe the foul was on J.J. Rapolino there as Avakin cut back door after Cal Bloom already cut back door. It was kind of a double cut, ended up to a little drop down pass, and Avakin was going for the dunk there. I could hear the rim snap.
Indeed, certainly glad there was no injury or anything, because boy, Avakin, certainly a physical basketball player, and he's not afraid to stand up to anybody. 36-27 Storm. Here's Masagi.
Gelb calls for a 5-out offense here from his M-CATS. Gonna be a lot of pass and cut here, trying to find some open opportunities with a back screen and a cut through.
Here's Masagi to Marcus. Marcus, Jockwitz for 3 again, and gets it to go. This kid's heating up.
Absolutely. It looks like Jockwitz wants to name that corner over there. Jockwitz corner. He's trying to steal from Kogan with how many threes he's got this half.
Yeah, he's certainly not going to want to commit gimmick infringement, but there's a 3-point shot there by the Storm, not going to go. M-CATS starting to build a little bit of momentum here. Here's Masagi with the basketball. Masagi, drive, dangerous pass, but Rapolino's going to regain. Ball's going out of bounds, and it will be Storm basketball.
Absolutely there, partner. I think that this 5-out offense the M-CATS have installed here at halftime starting to work. It's kind of spreading out the Storm, kind of creating opportunities from the wing. And so far, the M-CATS have taken advantage. What a move there by Cal Bloom, and the three bounces in after the good handles. What a play there by Cal Bloom to stretch the lead back out to 9.
There's number 5, Amiel Jockwitz. Once again, Jockwitz certainly putting the team on his back, but boy, going at such a fast pace. And there's an easy missed layup there on that side. M-CATS with the basketball. Boy, dangerous bounce pass, almost gets stolen. Luckily goes out of bounds, and it will remain with the M-CATS. And timeout will be called by the Storm. It's 39-32 in favor of the Storm. This is Jake Brewer and Dylan Mahart right here on MemphisInvitational.com. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. As M-CATS basketball trailing by just 7 points to the Katz Yeshiva Storm, but this second quarter is certainly going at a much faster pace than that hard-nosed defensive battle that was the first quarter. As there's Zilber. Out to Rapolino. Rapolino gonna be fouled. That'll be a personal foul against number 21, Nero Vaknin.
Gotta like this pass and cut offense and a little bit of driving here by the M-CATS. They're kind of getting the Storm flustered, and the Storm are reaching and hacking a lot here on defense.
Here's Jockwitz. Jockwitz popping out to number 14 of the M-CATS. Boy, that'll be well off, and Ed Gelb did not like that shot selection whatsoever.
That thing was so far outside, it almost hit Beale Street.
Ariel Jessel-Jones, certainly not the guy you want taking your three-point shots, but on the other side, if you're the Storm, you want Jessel-Jones taking those threes all day.
Absolutely, nice little lay there by Elon Antias with a little floater fade away, and we're back to a 9-point lead here. Halfway through the third quarter, beginning of the second half.
Here's Masagi to Jockwitz. Jockwitz driving. Tries to throw the ball directly behind him for the shot, and obviously going to bounce it right off the glass, and the Storm will capitalize on the other end.
Good transition there, but then they didn't get back on defense, get Jessel-Jones a wide open.
It appears what happened there is number 3 of the Storm, A.B. Calbloom, gained possession of the basketball, but had a foot out of bounds, and
actually, I think it was number 20, Ani Kiefer. He didn't reestablish himself inbounds. So because he was never established inbounds, as soon as he touched the ball, it automatically is out on him.
There's Jockwitz. Tries to pop it out, but gets deflected by number 1, Ethan Stern. That'll go out of bounds, but M-CATS basketball.
Good hands there by Stern. They're not giving him anything easy in the passing lanes.
Zilber passing it in, gets it out to Winograd. Here's Masagi. Masagi, Jessel-Jones. Jessel-Jones pops it out for the three-point shot, not gonna go.
Rebounded. It's a straight rocket at the rim. Cal Bloom brings it up.
Cal Bloom just throwing it right at that screen behind the basketball court, and he may want to think about throwing it at his players.
Number 11, A.B. Marwardi, now in for the Storm. I believe this is the first time we've seen him on the floor today.
Danny Masagi. Bounce pass to number 3, Ezra Weiss. Jessel-Jones. Jessel-Jones throwing it out of bounds, and both of these teams struggling on the turnover category.
Nero Vodkin and number 2, Tomar Skandiarian, back in here for the Storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in with us, be sure you tune into the game following this one, as it is a Tier 1 semifinal between the NSHA Lions and the Hillel Heat. We know that'll be a good one. Jake Brewer and Dylan Maharg will be on the call for that one, and that's going to be a good one here shortly. So we got a foul call there against the M-CATS. Number 21, Nero Vacton, going to the line for 2.
And that foul there was on number 14, Ariel Jesselson. So that is Jesselson's 3rd personal.
Number 43 of the M-CATS, Morty Fader, checking into the game for number 14, Ariel Jesseljohn. Here's Ovacton for the second and gets to go. 45-32 in favor of the Storm. Here's Masagi trotting the ball up the floor.
Good defense here by A.B. Morardi. He's not giving Danny Masagi any room.
Zilber back to Masagi.
Masagi just being followed. Hey, finally gets past Morardi and goes up for the easy lay.
And if you are the Katz Yeshiva Storm, you're not going to be too upset about giving up, a 2-point shot, as long as you can continue to trade baskets. You just got to avoid the M-CATS going on any sort of run. Rebounded by the Storm, and Coach Ed Gelb disappointed in the shot selection and the quick shooting opportunities. There's number 2 for the Storm, not going to go on that 3-point shot attempt. Silver gaining possession of the basketball, bounce pass to Masagi, and that'll be well behind him. Just a bad pass there by Daniel Zilber. Now with 2 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. There's Ovacton. Great defense there, but gets the basketball back and goes right back up with it.
Definitely see the strategy here for the Storm. They've used Ovacton a lot more down low. I think they realize that they have the size advantage down low with Ovacton, and they're starting to really implement that here in the 3rd quarter.
M-CATS needing some sort of spark as we near the end of the 3rd quarter. And if they're going to want to win this basketball game, they've got to start figuring things out here quickly. There's Ezra Weiss popping it out. Masagi. Going to get a reach-in foul there against number 11 of the Storm, A.B. Mawardi. And coming into the game for the Storm, Ethan Wasserstrom in for number 21, Nero Vacton. There's a mid-range J there, not going to fall. Offensive rebound, and passes it right to the Storm.
That's
Here's
Ethan
number 1.
Stern with the layup.
Rebound by Masagi. Now 70 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Here's Masagi with the floater. It'll be in and out, just missing that one. Rebounded by the Storm.
Mawardi brings it up, gets the Stern. Into Skandiarian in the corner, no good from 3.
49 seconds remaining. Masagi throwing it down to number 43, Wasserstrom, popping it out to Kalblum. Now a 3-point shot there by number 21, it's a Winograd.
Great shot there by Winograd, brings the lead back down to 10. Seems like the M-CATS keep hitting shots, but they're just trading baskets at this point. If they're going to get back in this game, they need to go on a run here at the end of this 3rd quarter and the start of the 4th quarter to get back in it.
Storm. Good move there, but took one too many steps, and that will be a travel on Zach Loberfield.
I don't know why he's arguing with the official Charles there. Charles saw him take the 4 steps, and he called it right away.
Charlie Williams, certainly an experienced official, is definitely not going to let anything get out of hand for this one. But here's Masagi as we now have 4 seconds remaining. Masagi drives, shot, not going to go, and that will be the end of the 3rd quarter, with the Katz Yeshiva Storm leading the Maimonides School M-CATS by a score of 47-37. You're listening right here on MemphisInvitational.com or YouTube.com. We'll be right back for 4th quarter action. ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Memphis Yeshiva Invitational as we're here in the fourth quarter with the Katz Yeshiva STORM leading the Maimonides School M-CATS by a score of 47-37. And if we have any baseball fans on the broadcast, Dylan, would you like to give us an update on what's happening there in Game 7 of the World Series?
Absolutely. The Dodgers just got a sacrifice fly, bringing in Mookie Betts, a sacrifice fly for Tommy Edman. It's a 3-2 ball game up there in Detroit, north of the border. Top of the sixth inning. They got a good one up there in Toronto. And another steal here by Amakai. Keeper. That's back-to-back steals. Oh my goodness, he butchered the layup.
And correction there on the baseball update. Game's happening in Toronto and not Detroit.
North of the border, again. Mixed up Toronto and Detroit, but they're close enough.
As we have a timeout there for Maimonides. We'll be right with you. Back here on court 3 for the Tier 3 semifinal. Storm leading at 49-37. There's Sam Marcus of the M-CATS passing the ball in. Gets it out to Daniel Zilber. Zilber conducting the offense. Zilber here to Jockwitz. Jockwitz drives with a wraparound pass and throws it right into the third row of the bleachers.
Yeah, he threw it. Yeah, that ball fell in the third row. He wasn't really ready for it, but luckily he caught it. Was paying attention, didn't smack him too hard. Didn't know he was involved in the basketball game here.
Sorry about that. What did you say there, partner? That last thing you said, I was distracted here by Coach Ed Gelb screaming at the officials, but
I was just saying that ball hit the guy in the third row. Hopefully he was okay.
Oh, yeah.
Had his hands up, so I think he'll be all right. Didn't think he was going to be involved in a basketball game tonight, but
here's Cal Bloom with the basketball. Now played over a minute here in the fourth. There's a Vachnen stepping right out of bounds. That's correction. That was actually a travel there against the Storm. It looked like he had stepped out of bounds from my angle. Not really, don't really have the best angles here from time to time there, partner.
Absolutely. It was kind of a hard play. He was right on the baseline, but Nero Vachnen trying to kick it to the corner to Cal Bloom. Did take an extra step. Now Cal Bloom brings it up.
Cal Bloom, boy, he's just a phenomenal passer. Maybe one of the best passers we've seen here at the Memphis Yeshiva Invitational, but they will have a timeout called for the Katz Yeshiva Storm, and we'll be right back here on MemphisInvitational.com. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the Memphis Sports and Event Center as the Storm lead at 49-37. Storm having possession of the basketball, and you know, if you're the Storm, if you're head coach Eli Barretts of the Storm, what are you telling your guys coming out of that timeout? You know, you have a 12-point lead with 6:12 remaining. What would you tell your basketball players?
Absolutely, your number one priority here is just taking care of the basketball. There's no shot clock, so you can kill some clock if you need, but you just got to take care of the basketball and get good shots. It doesn't matter if you score, but at the end of the day, just good possessions. You can't give away any free baskets to the M-CATS, but as long as you take care of the basketball, it's hard to blow a lead this late in the fourth quarter.
There's Nir Ovaknin.
McKeefer converts both free throws there after that great rebound he had and got fouled. Extends the lead to 14 points here for the Storm with 6 minutes to go.
Here's Marcus. Winograd down to Rapolino. Rapolino popping out to Masagi. Masagi, great defense there. Cuts off the baseline. Three-point shot, not gonna fall. And boy, just a Hail Mary pass, almost had a dunk. Number 20 of the Storm trying to clean up the mess, Amy Kiefer, but couldn't get it to fall. M-CATS basketball the other way.
You gotta love the aggressiveness there from Nir Ovaknin going for the slam. That would have been huge for momentum here for the Storm.
Winograd 4-3, not gonna go, and boy, it seems like the M-CATS are just desperate to shoot three-point attempts and try to cut this lead.
Now you can see as Coach Baratz told his team to slow it down and make sure to get a good shot. Kogan in his corner, no good. Rebounded. Now looks up JJ Rapolino, and another turnover. Believe they got more turnovers than points this quarter there, partner. Rough fourth quarter so far for the M-CATS.
That's absolutely correct, and you know, as a team trailing by 14 points with less than 5 minutes remaining, typically you wouldn't be too stressed. There's another three-point shot there now, 17-point deficit, and now you're getting to the point where you have to start taking three-point shots and trying to desperately claw your way back into the contest.
Yeah, it looks like with that last bucket extending the lead to 17, Coach Baratz is going to do a hockey lineup change, and looks like the starters are about to be done here for the Storm as they've done their business and they've taken care of it. And oh my, Cal Bloom all the way, misses the layup. Masagi bringing it back here for the M-CATS with a little spin move.
Masagi, Marcus, and that'll be a foul. And I'll tell you, that could have gone either way. I mean, I believe the official Charles Williams made the right call, but it almost looked like Marcus could have shuffled his feet, but it'll be a reach-in foul as the mass substitution, platoon swap, if you will, for the Storm comes into the contest.
It's number 1, number 2, number 24, number 11, and number 10 in for the Storm.
Marcus inbound to the basketball to Rapolino. Rapolino out to Winograd. Deep two. Not going to get the hometown bounce. Rebounded by the Storm.
Great box out there by Ether Wasserstrom. Great box out. Good rebound. He cleared the paint, and now we got 4 minutes to go and a 17-point lead here as Stern has the ball up top.
Pollock. That's number 10 for the Storm. Not going to go. Offensive rebound going to be blocked. Going out of bounds and checking into the game for the M-CATS, Ezra Weiss coming in for number 21, Ty Winograd. 3:52 remaining. Storm lead it by 17. Inbounds the basketball. Stern. Great move there to extend the lead to 19.
Little Euro step with the right hand right off the bank, and beautiful using the glass to your advantage there by Stern. And we got a 19-point game, and I would say that at this point in time, partner, the Storm has punched their ticket to the Tier 3 championship game.
Could not agree more there. At this point, Storm still just wanting to take care of the basketball and take their time here as, boy, number 1 of the Storm missed the floater there, but can do nothing but shout out, you know, those bright pink shoes that Ethan Stern is wearing.
And with the bright yellow shoes, that's number 24, Ariel Pollock, the 6'3" senior that cleaned up the glass there. And now we got a 21-point lead here as Jakowicz takes it from deep, and that's I think that one landed in Arkansas there, partner, just a little bit outside across the bridge, and looks like the M-CATS are going to stutter to play in the 3rd-4th matchup here in Tier 3.
That is 100% correct, as I believe Coach Ed Gelb of the M-CATS has sort of waved the white flag and realizing that not enough time to make any sort of miraculous comeback, but still just got to give a lot of credit to Coach Eli Baratz of the Storm for being able to withstand this challenge for his players. That'll be a kicked ball against the Storm, and Coach Eli Baratz just wanting some sort of explanation.
Well, that's the first time I've ever seen an offensive kickball, but Charles E. Williams did call it, so it is going to be the call on the floor. Offensive kickball, got the ball back to the M-CATS, and
there's Marcus.
Last possession, that was two things I've never seen before as a broadcaster. Is Sam Marcus tried to walk off the floor. At one point, the M-CATS only had 4 players on the floor, and then there's an offensive kickball, and wow, you see something new every day, don't you, partner?
Yes, you do indeed. Definitely a lot to unpack there, but back here with some basketball action, as it will stay in possession of the M-CATS. And what do you think that M stands for?
Probably the Maimonides, for the Maimonides school, right? Has to be.
Possibly. Maybe mountain. Their logo kind of looks like a mountain lion of some sort. Couldn't tell you. Regardless, it appears that they will fall to that third place Tier 3 matchup.
And that's unsportsmanlike conduct on either Wasserstrom. That's going to be Charles Williams giving him a technical. So now we got number 15. That's Daniel Zelber at the line for 2.
Daniel Zelber splitting those 2 technical free throws. Not really exactly sure what had happened per se, but the M-CATS will retain the basketball with 2:33 remaining in the contest. Here's Marcus down to Jessel Jones. Jessel Jones being heavily guarded. That'll be a reach-in foul against number 24 of the Storm, Ariel Pollock. As number 22 of the Storm, Zach Loberfield checking into the game for number 1, Ethan Stern.
Well, now we got everything in this game. We got an offensive kickball, guys subbing out on their own, and we got a technical foul. We're just getting started with semifinal here Saturday night here. Join us all night here at the Memphis Yeshiva Invitational.
Definitely lots of action, action-packed evening, and almost just getting started, but number 4 of the M-CATS, Ariel Jessel Jones, going to the line for 2. And it looks like we're going to have a lane violation against Maimonides. Missed the free throw, but I suppose at the end of the day, mistakes are mistakes.
Absolutely.
There's a 3-point shot there. Wide open for number 22 of the Storm. Not going to fall. Storm get the rebound. Number 22 again. That'll be way off.
I think that one landed down in Mississippi next to Olive Branch, just a little bit long. And now a little sloppy foul there by Zach Loberfield. 2 missed threes and then a foul. And they're trying to get the big man some love there in the corner, just wasn't able to convert. Now we got 2 shots now for Danny Zelber with 2 minutes to go.
And the Storm with 6 team fouls here in the 4th quarter. You would think with them having such a comfortable, extensive lead, they would refrain from any hard fouls, but regardless, Coach Eli Baratz still keeping his team, wanting to motivate his guys and continuing to apply the pressure, and that'll be a timeout called for the Storm, and we'll be right back here on MemphisYeshivaInvitational.com. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as the Katz Yeshiva Storm are leading 58-38 here late in the contest as we have a turnover there by the Storm. And number 3 of the M-CATS, Ezra Weiss, going to the line for 2. And boy, if you are the Maimonides School M-CATS, yes, they're down by 20 points, but just got to give a big shout out to Ezra Weiss for continuing to try to pull his team within striking distance.
Absolutely, great hustle there, great defense, and now he made the first free throw.
Ezra Weiss, sophomore guard, 5 feet 8 inches. M-CATS coming into this tournament from Brookline, Massachusetts. So if you are from Brookline, Massachusetts, want to just thank you for tuning into today's contest. And obviously Maimonides is going to drop into that 3rd place game here in Tier 3. And obviously want to wish nothing but the best of luck for the M-CATS as they finish off this tournament. And obviously starting off the 2025-2026 high school basketball season, nothing but the best of luck for these boys from Brookline.
Gotta love the spin move there. That's gonna be an offensive push on the rebound there by Loberfield. Good take though by Pollock, but gonna be the 8th personal team foul there on the rebound, and the M-CATS got the ball now.
And it will be, I believe, 2 shots, and boy, this thing's a little chaotic.
One ref was letting them play, and one ref was letting them shoot free throws.
A little bit of miscommunication by these officials, as obviously that's the 8th team foul against the Storm, and obviously that'll be 2 more free throws for number 14, Ariel Jesselson, as he hits the first one. And nails both shots at the charity stripe. This game now a 16-point game. Had a little bit of a mistake there. And the M-CATS are gonna reclaim the basketball. There's San Marcos for 3. That'll be a bit short.
Just a bit short there. That was a little weird play there. Number 11, the ball was already checked in by the referee, so there was no reason to pass it back to him, and he just threw it at the ref. I don't know if he was trying to get a little more time to kill or something like that, but
not sure what the intention was there, but definitely good job by the referee of being able to serve justice and bring the possession arrow to the other end, and that shot's gonna be off the mark. Number 11 with a left-handed hook. That's number 11, A.B. Mawardi of the Storm.
Here comes back Sam Marcus all the way, leaves the layup short, rebounded by Pollock, and you got 38 seconds. They're still pushing. These Storm, they're hungry, they want more.
Here's Mawardi, 30 seconds remaining here in the contest. Leading by 18 points, Mawardi, that's a number 2, Skandarian. Now Loberfield with a floater, and I can't say that I agree with this philosophy of continuing to play basketball.
I couldn't agree more, partner. I think you got 32 minutes to play. You play for the full 32 minutes. M-CATS will go for the final shot here. Sam Marcus for 3.
And that'll do it here for the Tier 3 semifinal as the Katz Yeshiva High School Storm knock off the Maimonides School M-CATS by a score of 62-42, and the Storm advancing to the Tier 3 championship game later on this weekend. I believe that game will happen tomorrow. A huge credit to Coach Eli Baratz of advancing to that championship contest. But ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it here for Game 1 for semifinal Saturday night here in the Memphis Sports and Event Center. But be sure you tune in for our next contest. It's here shortly, the Hillel Heat taking on the NSHA Lions for a Tier 1 semifinal matchup. But until then, I'm Jake Brewer alongside my broadcast partner Dylan Mahard saying so long from Memphis, Tennessee.